and today I have for you my mid-year makeup inventory. This is where I tell you all about my makeup collection, how many of each product type I have by breaking them up into their individual categories. So we have lipsticks and lip crayons, and we have mascaras, we have eyeliners, lip liners, the whole shebang, foundations, concealers, whatever. And I break them all down for you and I tell you how many I own. Some of these numbers may be a little bit too much for some people out there, but I don't just wear makeup to wear makeup. I wear makeup because I like doing makeup on YouTube. So I have quite a lot of some things, not a lot of other things. So yeah, I make no apologies really for how much I own. I am only answerable to myself. If these numbers are too high for you, then sit back and relax, because you probably don't have this many. And if you've got more than me, enjoy it. Enjoy your makeup collection. This is not a video for me to judge you, and I ask you not to judge me, basically. So that is that disclaimer out of the way. I will also be telling you what my numbers were at the beginning of the year, so that was in January. I do these every 6 months, so to keep myself accountable to how my collection is growing or changing, but also as well to keep me on check, because sometimes, like, it wasn't until I was preparing for this video that I realised that a subscription box that I was receiving was actually doing me more harm than good. So I ended that subscription. That was my Manny and Lola subscription, not through any fault of their own. They're an amazing nail polish subscription box here in the UK. But for me, I've had to cancel that subscription because my nail polish collection was getting a little out of hand. So yes, you will understand when we come to those numbers. So let's start off. First of all, I will show here, hopefully with my editing self, the numbers for you. So the first category is primers. I currently have 4, and previously I had 7, so that has gone down. For foundations, I currently have 11, and previously I had 13. For concealers, I currently have 4, and I previously had 5. For setting powders, I have 8, and previously I had 6. For blushes, I currently have 24, and previously I had 34. Now, some of these numbers have gone down from use, and some of these numbers have gone down because I have done a bit of a declutter. I had a bit of a revelation that there were some products in my collection that I was really never ever going to use. They were products that I just never picked up for project pans, for just daily use, or that I was interested in using. And I always look at my collection when I'm picking out products for project pans. Sometimes if I am bypassing certain products continuously and not even wanting to put them into project pans to use them up, that tells me that one of two things: either I'm saving it because I love that item, or the item doesn't interest me at all, not even for a project pan. So I decided that instead of just having them in my collection, I was just going to declutter them and donate them to a women's shelter or somewhere, yeah, do it that way, because it was no good to me just sat in my collection. So yes, my blushes and other categories have gone down quite a chunk, not through use but through declutter. So but yes, you will see in a video at the end of the year about my empties. if I can, I will have been putting how many empties I have for each category, along with the numbers at the side of me, if I can remember to do that in editing. So yes, it depends how good editing Nicola is. So let's carry on. So bronzers, I currently have 11. Previously I had 13. For highlighters, I currently have 23, and previously I had 40, so you can see I dropped a lot there. For lip liners, I currently have 15, and previously I also had 15. Funnily enough, I don't seem to be using lip liners very well. So yeah. For lipsticks or lip crayons, I currently have 36, and I previously had 63. Now this has gone down a lot because I used up a lot of my samples. I had a lot of Urban Decay Vice lipstick samples, but also I decluttered as well because, again, I was looking at my collection and I thought, I have a lot of duplicate shades here, or shades that are so close to each other that you wouldn't know the difference once they were on the lips. I was just a bit more truthful about what shades I was willing to wear. Like I had 4 pink lipsticks, which isn't a lot of pink lipsticks, but I don't wear pink. Very, very rarely will I wear a pink lipstick. So I decluttered 3 and kept 1. So yeah, so that number's gone down a lot due to decluttering, but some towards use. For liquid lipsticks, I currently have 16, and I previously had 30. Same thing with as my lipsticks. For lip glosses, I have 4, and I previously had 14. That's due to decluttering, simply, plainly. I don't use lip glosses very often. For lip balms and lip scrubs, I currently have 13. I previously had 13. For brow products, I have 13 products again, and I previously had 14. For mascaras, I currently have 9, and previously I had 12. That is through use and use alone. I don't declutter my mascaras because I don't open them until I come to use them, so that they don't go off. And really, I use my mascaras 2 at a time, so I layer them. So 9 mascaras for me is a pretty decent number. For glitters and pigments, I have 7 plus 1 glitter glue, and previously I had 6 and 1 glitter glue, so that number's gone up. For cream stick eyeshadows, I currently have 26, and previously I had 23. That number has gone up. I bought a couple of those Revolution eye glistens, so yeah, that's kind of where that's gone up a little bit. For eyeshadow pans, so I don't count my palettes so much because I find that that's not a way for me personally to really get a true gauge on what my collection holds. So I count individual pans in each palette. So I have some palettes that have like 32 shades in them, and then I have palettes that only have 5 shades in them. So, you know, if I just count palettes, which I do still count some palettes, and I'll give you that number in a moment, but I actually do count single pans. So each, if an eyeshadow palette is 32 pans, that's 32, and I count my 5 pans, and I also count my duos and my singles. They're all counted in this. So this is all powder eyeshadow pans. I don't count singles and duos separately. I count them all together. So currently my eyeshadow pans is 695, and previously I had 679. Now that means my eyeshadows have only gone up less than 20, which is great because that means I haven't been buying too many eyeshadow palettes. However, since doing the counting, I know I've definitely bought some more eyeshadow palettes. So that number's going to go up by the end of the year for the next inventory. So, oopsies. But the actual, as I said, I do count some palettes, and I count palettes that have 6 or more pans in them. So palettes with 6 or more shades in them, I currently have 43 of those, and previously I had 47. So I've actually decluttered 4 eyeshadow palettes. So that's good. That is good for me. So again, I was just literally going through my collection going, am I really ever going to use this? No. Okay, I will donate it. So yeah, that's where that's gone. For setting sprays, I currently have 3, and previously I had only 2 setting sprays. As long as I don't get more than 3 at a time, I'm quite happy with that number. It's a really low number. Okay, for the final category, this is why I stopped my Manny and Lola subscription. Nail polishes. I currently have 310 nail polishes, and back in beginning of the year I had 240. So in 6 months I have managed to gain 70 nail polishes, and that is simply mainly because of Manny and Lola, my box subscription. As I say, I have no ill feeling or anything. It's not Manny and Lola's fault. This is an amazing subscription box, but I'm not using up my nail polish as fast as I'm receiving it. And so in order to slow that number down, I had to cancel my Manny and Lola subscription. So it is sad because I really love that box. I really, really do. I have gained some beautiful nail polishes from that box, but 310 nail polishes, people. Yeah. And I maybe finish 4, maybe 5 bottles a year. I'm going to be wearing nail polish for the rest of my life, even if I never have to buy another nail polish for the rest of my life. So yeah, that is it. That is my makeup inventory for June 2019. There's an awful lot of categories there that have decreased through use and through declutter. Being honest with myself about my makeup and what I am and am not willing to like wear or to try and use up. Being truthful with myself that if I really want to use my makeup and use the makeup that I love, I shouldn't really be keeping and holding on to makeup that, not that I don't like, but that is not as exciting or like makes me want to pick it up. So yeah, so that is that. It took me a while, especially counting all those nail polishes and eyeshadow pans. Why I do it to myself, I'll never know. But it's interesting. It's interesting to see how my collection is growing or decreasing, which areas I'm using up the most, which areas I need to improve on, which items I do not need any more of. So yeah, it's a really interesting thing for me to do, and I actually look forward to doing it, even though it's one of the videos that takes me the longest to prepare for. It took me hours. Yeah, I really enjoy doing this video because it gives me an insight and really makes me look at my purchases, look at what I'm using, and yeah, keeps me in tow. So that is my makeup inventory for June 2019. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!